Hello and greetings to you again. My name is Anthony Altman, and today's date is the 14th of October, 2024. I greet you on this sunny day in Israel, and it's relatively quiet. No rockets or drones or bombings or explosions or artillery to mention. It's going on in the background, but not too bad. So I'm here for another day. The title of this video is 30 slash 40 slash 30 equation. This is a very interesting subject. It's to do with arithmetic, mathematics, I suppose. Hence the schoolroom background virtual image. We're now in school and we're going to deal with the 30, 40, 30 equation of humanity. This is something that I actually felt I arrived at. I've done a lot of research over the last many years, but specifically the last 4 years, 3 years, 4 years. And I listened to quite a lot of people and read articles, and I arrived at this conclusion that there were these three percentage groups that created an equation. And I started to hear it from other people. And recently, I heard that the psychology professor Matthias Desmet in Belgium actually specifically mentioned this equation, and it inspired me to make this video. So what has transpired is that there are three groups in this equation. The first group is 30%. And the people in this group have a pretty good idea of the truth. They are relatively unbiased. They're open-minded, open-hearted, and they are aware of the truth. They are able to differentiate between lies, deception, and the truth very well. And they're the ones who are speaking out, giving us the truth. This includes doctors, scientists who risk losing their licenses because the powers that be do not want them to divulge the truth. And people like me who are sufficiently aware of this truth, and we're talking about it, and we're doing our best to inform the public. And it's really an uphill struggle for the following reason. The next group is a 40% in the equation. And this group of people don't know what the truth is. They don't know what the lies are. They are incapable, unable to differentiate between lies, deception, truth, or anything. They have a herd mentality, like lemmings, like sheeple, and they just follow wherever anybody goes. They're inclined to listen to the loudest voice or the most repetitive voice, or that information which is given to them in the form of advertising, propaganda, and much of it in a subliminal nature. So when you come to them and you talk to them about the truth, well, who are you? Do you have a PhD? Oh, you've only got one PhD. No, I'm listening to somebody who's got three PhDs. They must know. They must really know. And then the last group of 30% in the equation comprise the people who are totally fixed in their belief, their knowing, and nothing will budge them. They could be die-hard political people, Democrats, conservatives, Republicans. They could be cynical people. It doesn't really matter what they are. They've arrived at this point where they have a perception of life and everybody in it. They have a belief system. Their thoughts, words, and actions will always support what they believe, and nothing or anybody will dissuade them or persuade them to believe something else. So if you approach them with an opposing thought, they can get violent. They will attack you. They will kill you. They will call you. You are a conspiracy theorist. This is all right. And this group is not worth talking to. I would like to think that my audience is the 40% because these are the people who are yet to make up their minds, difficult though it may be. Because the 30%, the first 30% group, they know. I don't have to tell them what they already know. And all the other information spoken and written by other people, they do not need to tell people who already know. We are to inform that 40% who don't know, but perhaps some of them would like to know. Forget about the last 30%, the last group, because nobody's going to change their minds. Now, the interesting thing is this. If you live in a democracy, and I'm yet to see a legitimate democracy on this planet. I live in Israel, supposedly the only democracy in the Middle East, and it's not a democracy for various reasons. In America, it's not a democracy. It's a democratic republic, a constitutional republic, but it's not democratic, and definitely not a democratic in the United Kingdom, where supposedly a lot of it is supposed to have emanated from, although the word democracy comes from Greece. Why is democracy not being practiced? Here it is. You have 30% who know the truth, who are open to new ideas and forms of possible truth. And you have 70% of the people who don't know the truth and are not interested in the truth. And this 70% in any democracy carries the day. So the 30% who know what the truth is and are open to the truth will have to go wherever the 70% takes them. And if the 70% is going to take you over the ledge on the mountain into the abyss because they don't really know, but they're going anyway, they're going to drag the other 30% with them. This is not democracy. Not the sort of democracy I want to live in. Or you could say that there is a positive democracy and a negative democracy. And the negative democracy is what we have because the democratic process is led by people who don't know and don't want to know, and they're just going to go and do what they want. And the positive democracy would be the majority of people who do know what they're doing. The government doesn't know what it's doing, and 70% of the people don't know what they're doing. So what's the answer? This is a big question. My feeling is that there are two possibilities. The one possibility is that a miracle takes place. Well, actually, three possibilities. And more people wake up, providing a positive majority. And so the democratic process will then carry the day in a positive sense. I'm not holding my breath for that, by the way. The other possibility is that the present situation continues and we experience, that means the 70% of the people taking us down a path of self-destruction, absolutely. and we will experience the sixth mass extinction of the human race will be finished. The survivors will take thousands of years to recover, and we'll see if we have learned any lessons. And then the other possibility is that because of choices made by the people taking the various jabs, jabs, and realizing the adverse effects are quite devastating. People are dying by the tens of thousands, by the hundreds of thousands, and by the millions. The only reason most people don't know about it is because it's all hidden information, suppressed, censored. But if you look for it, you will find, if you go to places like thepeoplesvoice.tv, band.video, and a whole host of other places, you will find more of the truth, and you will realize what's going on, because it's here where the doctors and scientists have a platform to be able to speak the truth, those who are now speaking the truth. And should that be the path that humanity goes in, then there will be a huge die-off, a huge amount of sick people, incapable people, incapacitated people. And the small minority of the 30%, plus perhaps a few converts from the 40%, will now become the majority. And these are the people, these are the survivors, without having to decimate the humanity any further. There will still be 30%, maybe 3 billion people, 2.5 to 3 billion people on this planet, still good, who will be able to learn from the errors and the mistakes and build a golden age. I know that what I'm saying is provocative, but it's my perception. And I do not bury my head in the sand, hoping that the problem will go away, because it never does. You're either going to acknowledge it, deal with it, find the remedies, find the solution, and move on, or not, and suffer the consequences. I know it's harsh to talk like this, but this is the way the reality seems to be. If you are one of those people who are burying your head, it's not going to work. Hasn't worked up to now. I suggest that you open your mind, open your heart, do some research, because if we are able to wake up more and more people and implement the remedies that are available to us, we can avert a disaster that could be far greater than it seems possibly to be. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you appreciate this information. And I would like to think that you will share this information with everybody else, because we're at a point now where there's virtually no time to make any changes, because it's almost too late. If you're going to do something positive, today's the day, not tomorrow, today. Thank you very much for joining me on this road less traveled that I trust will become the road most traveled. Until next time, thank you.